I am. In today's video, Uncle Sean talks out of his back end.
Right, really exciting. Finished this part of the stern, well finished it, done this part of the stern. Now I've got to work my way from port to starboard along the back, chopping out this old stuff. I'm going to give the plasma cutter a go. No, getting my new trainers all mucky. Oh well. So I'm going to do a bit of cleaning up first. Got some new grinding discs, thanks to Aid from Aid's workshop. Just dropped them off now, just brought them round. Thank you, Aid, mate. Brought me a load of these discs, he's given me. Hyundai, hey? Hyundai. Those are the puppies. We'll give those a go. Don't forget, thank you. Right, oh, fogged up my glasses. Let's give that a try. So far the two methods, plasma cutter, 4.5 inch grinder. I definitely prefer the 4.5 inch grinder. It seems quicker and it's neater. So I'm going to try the 9-inch grinder now, which I'm not looking forward to, because with the 9-inch grinder comes increased risk to safety, but oops, compressors on. But also fatigue because they're heavy. But let's give it a go. Right, grinder, transformer, and we need a disc. Let's get a disc. There's a disc. Right. Push you back. Uncoil you. Whoa, okay. Let's give this beast a turn. Oh. Scary. Right. Got my Kevlar arm guards, full face shield. Let's give this a try. Right, let's see how we go. The advantage of this is the height's not above my shoulders, so hopefully it ain't too bad. Right. I think what I'll do is I'll shift the camera somewhere else. It's gonna get camera abuse. Right, what do I think to that? Scarier, but definitely is quicker when it comes to cutting. I think if you're careful though, with safety. Got the Kevlars. I think we should be okay. So I'm going to solder on with this. The 4.5 inch grinder's much more manageable, I think. A bit more relaxing. This is a bit harder work, so I'll do this until I fatigue. We'll see how we go. It is quicker. So I think for cutting this bad stuff out, it's going to be a combination of the small grinder and the big grinder. I don't think the plasma cutter is quite right for this corroded horrible stuff. Works fantastic on nice clean steel. Doesn't burn this very well at all. And it's not a very neat cut unless you're using a guide. So we'll soldier on with this. I don't know whether you can see. I can't see anything. I'm going to cut this into 2 sections. When I cut the stern out, to cut it all in one, it's quite unwieldy now to try and manage as a one-piece stern. So I'll cut this out in 2 pieces, makes it easier to manage. I'll just finish this off with the little grinder because it's easier to wield. Ta-da! Well, I've cleaned that up with a needle gun just to get to some steel to either cut it, or I'm gonna have a go with the plasma cutter again. But you can see, look at the mess. And if we hadn't have uncovered this, we'd have never known, would we? You could have easily have left that there. This is the problem I'm having with the plasma cutter. It doesn't cut neat, and then I'll end up having to use a grinding disc anyway just to neaten that off. It'd have been better just using the grinding disc to start with. I think it's because the weld's thick here and it's an inconsistent thickness, and it cuts then doesn't, and or maybe it's just me, I don't know, but back to the grinding disc, I think. Same as before, we need to cut this exhaust off. That's out then, all the way across. So that's the original stern of the boat. So that's probably how the boat would have looked like initially if she hadn't been altered, apart from that little bump on the back. When we've looked at other boats, they've just kind of had this angle that comes down to about there. We are going to be putting the extension back on though, because we're not sure why it was there. I'm a little bit nervous. There was part of me that was tempted to leave it off, but we don't know whether it was there to solve a problem. So maybe something to do with the geometry of the boat. I don't know. So it's had 34 years with that extension on. So we are going to put it back on, but we are going to build it to a better quality than what it was done at factory. What I am going to do next is sort out some of this steel here that was the bathing platform, just to chop it off with the angle grinder. I was tempted to leave it because this stern, or the top of that stern, is coming out and that steel would come out with it. But the problem is I can't get the angle grinder in to cut the steel at the top without removing it. So we'll just quickly chop that off. You see, that looks to me like another bodge. That's a skin fitting, and I think they've just rammed in that stainless steel tube to didn't even look well sealed, and I'm assuming that's a drain from the inside. I've not seen where from yet. It might actually be from that air conditioning unit, but another bodge. Those are the deck drains that have been running into this compartment, of course. Okay, only a little bit to do now on this aft. Just remove this crap, then we can start thinking about removing some of this. Some people are good at driving fishing boats, but not quite as good at driving their vans. One of the local fishermen, and he's happy to park it like that. Would you let him drive his boat near you? So I've got Tasha with me today. Tasha's got a job to do. What are you going to do today, Tash?
I'm hot gunning
She's hot gunning.
this on here, taking the name off and then putting the new name on.
Right, so she was called Francisca, and of course she's called Blue Steel now. So Tasha is going to hot gun off the old name and Sharpie stick the new name on.
Try. We're going to try.
Oh, it's hot.
Yeah, it might be a little bit hot.
A little bit.
Can you do it? Does it need a little bit longer?
I'm holding on for dear life.
You're all right.
What?
There you go, then peel it all the way, like follow the sea down.
Is this satisfying?
That's it. And then that's it, keep getting your grip.
Why are you peeling it off?
Because we're putting a new name on it. How's that? Do you want to go?
Right. Yes, no, Mum, I'm hanging on for dear life.
You're all right.
Right.
Right, so it's like a hairdryer.
Ooh.
That's it.
What are you doing, Imogen?
You're doing all right.
Terrified.
Are you terrified of?
We don't like heights. You like heights?
I like heights, but these stairs are steep.
They're well-made stairs built by a professional.
Careful, it might be a bit hot. Can you do it? You can get the scraper on it, look.
Oh. I don't want to scrape the boat.
Don't touch the bone. Right, so the writing is off, as you can see. I'm going to sand all these bits off and see if we can get it all off so I can rewrite it. I mean, he's picked the worst person to draw stuff like this because I am useless. Well, she's a bit wonky. Have I spoke steel right? Auntie Rach, is steel S-double-E, S-T-double-E? Yeah, that's fine. Right, let's draw some. Ooh, these can be waves. Oh, there we are, a little bit of art. Blue steel. Right, we're just gonna secretly add my little name here. There we go, look guys. I've marked my stamp. It's done now.
Right, in an attempt to get organised in the back of this van that you can probably see, over my shoulder is a mess, we've bought a load of these to try and get everything sorted out because we're in a bit of a mess. So that should help. They're going in the back of the van and should help keep me organised. Right, beautiful weather today. The problem is it never lasts, does it? And I'm a little bit fearful. It's beautiful and warm, and I bet you in 2 or 3 weeks' time, as we start hitting September, the weather here completely changes. So I'm really keen to kind of make progress on the back of this boat, on the stern, because when the wet weather comes and the cold weather comes, we're going to have to retreat back inside the boat, and then we'll be doing all the work at the back of this boat that needs doing on the inside. So the more I get done on the outside, the more work I'll have to get going with during the winter on the inside. Anyway, let's stop procrastinating. Let's get back to work. Okay, so we're working our way towards the starboard side. We're nearly caught up now. All I've got to do is remove the underneath of this starboard section here. Remember, we did the same on the port side. And then we'll be removing this 230mm section from in here, and then we're caught up with the other side, all cleaned up, trimmed out here, and then we can start to think about what we're going to do with the actual stern section here. Right, let's get on with it. Look at the state of that. So next now, I'm going to cut out this stern, and I've marked it the way I'd like to cut it out, and I've had a little change of heart how we're going to do this. Let me show you how I've marked it. See here, there's a line either side, and this is about 50mm, and I'm going to leave this kind of angle in here, like a 50mm angle iron almost, just for now. That's just in case there's any distortion or any strain or stress that's being put in this direction on the boat. And I'm going to be cutting out all of this bit at the back now, including that. We're going to cut along here temporarily. That's that 23mm line, 230mm line, sorry. And then we're going to repeat the same process at this end. Right, quite a lot of cutting to do. So let's get on with it. it's been raining again. See, I told you, beginning of this video, how the weather would change. Anyway, before I crack back into the stern of this boat, a quick thank you to Sarah Lloyd. Thank you. Amazon wish list. Thank you for buying us these. I've got a few more of these I can break now. Let's dig in to a fresh packet of cutting discs. These are Cheap and Cheerfuls from Amazon. These burn quite quickly, but I think economically, even though they burn out a bit quicker than the ones from Screwfix, it ends up being cheaper per cut, if you like. Oops, lost the rubbish, I'll grab that. You see, this is that corner section I've taken out, and you can see how the steel's good down all the way up here, but at these edges a bit grotty, but down at the bottom it's particularly bad. So this is where the water's been collecting in the bilge of the boat. We can have a closer look at the bilge now. So you can see here, this is pretty rotten. There's a lot of corrosion there that could be needle gunned out, but we know this is coming out. And here at the bottom, that's the most concerning, because we're going to be having to take the floor of the hull out, but we've also got to cut part of the side of the boat out too. How much, I'm not sure yet. Let's finish cutting the rest out and then we can start looking at this. I'm really looking forward to getting some of this out. The next job is to grind these off. These are the supports for the rams, or they would have been if the boat hadn't been extended, duplicated of course. So I want to take those off first, because they're in the way of where we're going to be cutting. There we have it. What a mess. And in there somewhere is my wide angle lens. It fell off. In there. Ah, there it is. Picks up all the iron filings. Wide angle lens back on. You can see what a complete mess this is. Well, Tasha did tell you I'd be speaking out of my back end today. So I think the next step is going to be removing this rudder assembly. But I think that's for another video.
Right guys, I've fully taken over of Uncle Sean's channel, but we've come to the end of the video. So like, subscribe, share on every platform, and we'll see you for the next video. Thank you. Right guys, there's also a new feature on YouTube that's got hype. So if you click on that, that also boosts our videos. So make sure that we can do some more. Okay, thanks.